Construction is a very high risk industry. Complex projects, fluctuating material costs, labor shortages, and safety hazards. KPIs connect the construction planning with the performance so that the leaders can detect early warning signs before they become costly overruns. In this video, I will break down the top 15 construction industry KPIs that every project manager, FP&A analyst, and contractor must know. But before we dive into the KPIs, let's quickly understand how construction companies actually work, because these KPIs only make sense when you see the full picture. A construction project usually moves through five major stages. The first stage is the project bidding and estimation. Companies compete for contracts by estimating costs, timelines, and margins. This is where pricing accuracy and bid hit ratios play a huge role. The second stage is planning and design. Teams finalize drawings, materials, subcontractors, budgets, and schedules. Any error here becomes a cost overrun later. The third stage is procurement and mobilization. Materials, machinery, and labors are arranged. Delays or price fluctuations at this stage directly impact project profitability. The fourth stage is construction and execution. This is the heart of the operation, coordinating labor, equipment, safety, quality, and daily progress. And finally comes the last stage, which is handover and closeout. Final inspections, punch list completion, compliance checks, and final reconciliations happen at this stage. This is where the profitability is locked in. Construction industry has thin margins, high risk, and long project cycles. That's why KPIs aren't just numbers. They are early warning signals that can save millions of dollars. Now that we understand how the construction life cycle works, let us dive into the KPIs that actually measure performance, starting with the biggest one, which is the project cost variance. On a quick side note, if you are serious about growing your career in FP&A, then do check out our Certified Global FP&A Professional Program. CGFPA is a 6-month accredited certification in FP&A designed to help you become real business partners. If that sounds something you would be interested in, links are in the description. Also, there are a bunch of free resources that you can download on FP&A, including books and free courses. You will find all the links in the description. Construction KPI number one is the project cost variance and the schedule variance. First, let us talk about the project cost variance. It measures the difference between the planned cost and the actual cost. It is calculated as the budgeted cost minus the actual cost. FP&A monitors this daily to track overruns and adjust the forecast. For example, budget is $5 million, but the actuals turn out to be $5.5 million. That's a $0.5 million variance over the budget. Also, similarly, we track the schedule variance, which tracks how far ahead or behind schedule your project is. Schedule variance is calculated as the planned duration minus the actual duration. Delays increase labor and equipment costs. FP&A uses this in the project reviews. Next, let us move to the performance indices that combine both cost and schedule. We talk about cost performance index and schedule performance index one by one. But first, let us talk about the cost performance index, also known as the CPI. The CPI shows how efficiently the project is using its budget. It is calculated as the earned value divided by the actual cost. If the CPI is less than 1, that means that we are overspending, which is a red flag for FP&A and the project control teams. But cost performance is only half the story. What about the time performance or the schedule? That's where the schedule performance index or SPI comes in, which measures whether the project is ahead or behind schedule. SPI is calculated as the earned value divided by the planned value. If SPI is less than 1, it indicates delays, which FP&A translates into future cost increases. Next, let us measure the productivity of your most important assets, which is your people. Construction KPI number 3 is the labor productivity. Labor productivity tracks output relative to labor hours. It is calculated as the labor output divided by the labor hours. Low productivity signals inefficiencies, skill gaps, or delays, directly affecting cost per square feet. And what about the machines? They cost money whether they are used or not. That brings us to our construction KPI number 4, which is the equipment utilization rate, which shows how effectively equipments are being used. It is calculated as the actual usage hours divided by the total available hours into 100. FP&A uses this to optimize rentals, maintenance cycles, and asset ROI. Construction sites are a very high risk zone, So let us measure safety next. Construction KPI number 5 is the safety incident rate, also known as the TRIR. It tracks incidents per 200,000 labor hours. TRIR is calculated as incidents multiplied by 200,000 divided by the total labor hours. A high TRIR increases insurance costs and delays. FP&A models this into the project risk. Next, let us look at the KPI that often signals scope creep, and that is the change order frequency, which measures how often the client or the contractor changes the project scope. The change order frequency is calculated as the number of change orders divided by the total project. Frequent changes cause delays and budget inflation, which is a major FP&A risk factor. Now, profitability is the ultimate indicator, so let us measure it next. Construction KPI number 7 is the project profit margin. It shows profitability after all project expenses. It is calculated as the project profit divided by the project revenues into 100. FP&A teams use this to judge bidding strategy, cost control, and contractor performance. Now, next, let us move to the silent profitability killer, which is rework. Construction KPI number 8 is the rework cost percentage, which is measured as how much project cost is lost to rework. Rework percentage is calculated as the rework cost divided by the total project cost into 100. High rework destroys margins, and FP&A teams use this to justify training or quality investments. Rework often comes from waste. Next, let us measure that too. Construction KPI number 9 is the materials waste percentage, which tracks how much material is wasted versus total purchase. It is calculated as the waste materials divided by the total materials purchased. Waste inflation directly raises the project cost. FP&A uses this to negotiate supplier terms. Next, let us look at the strategic side, which is winning new business. Construction KPI number 10 is the bid hit ratio, which measures how many bids you win versus how many you submit. Bid hit ratio is calculated as the winning number of bids divided by the total bids. It helps FP&A evaluate which types of projects are the most profitable to pursue. Now, winning is good, but execution relies on subcontractors. That brings us to our construction KPI number 11, which is the subcontractor performance rating, which assesses the subcontractor quality, timelines, and cost control. It is a rating scale on a scale of 1 to 10 based on the performance criteria. Poor subcontractors can increase delays, rework, and cost overruns. That is why it is important. Next, let us look at a KPI that defines the project scale and efficiency, which is the project duration. The construction KPI number 12 is the average project duration, which measures the average time required to complete a project. It is calculated as the total duration of all the projects divided by the number of projects. Long durations tie up cash flow and reduce capacity for new projects. Speaking of future capacity, let us measure your upcoming workload, which is our construction KPI number 13, construction backlog, also known as the value of future work. It shows the value of contracted work not yet started. It is calculated as the sum of all awarded but uncompleted contracts. FP&A uses backlog to forecast revenue, labor needs, and cash flow for the next 24 to 36 months. Next, let us measure how efficiently your assets generate returns, which is our construction KPI number 14, return on construction assets, also known as ROCA. It shows the profit generated per dollar invested in construction equipment and assets. ROCA is calculated as the net profit divided by the total construction assets. FP&A uses ROCA to decide whether to rent or to buy equipment. And finally, the KPI that tells you how close you are to the project completion. Construction KPI number 15, the punch list completion rate, which measures how many punch list items are completed before handover. Items divided by the total punch items into 100. High completion rate means fewer delays, faster handovers, and quicker revenue recognition. These 15 KPIs cover the entire construction life cycle: cost, time, productivity, safety, financial health, and customer success. FP&A teams use them to forecast cash flow, evaluate risk, predict margins, and support smarter project decisions. Let us do a quick recap. We started with performance KPIs like the CPI, SPI, the cost and the schedule variance, and the duration. Next, we moved on to the financial KPIs like the profit margin and the return on construction assets. We also discussed the operational KPIs like the productivity and rework. We talked about the business development KPIs on the backlog and the bid hit ratio. And finally, we talked about the quality and safety KPIs like the safety rate and the subcontractor rating. If you track these KPIs consistently, your construction business becomes predictable, scalable, and more profitable. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown on the top 15 construction KPIs. If you like watching FP&A videos, do like this video and subscribe to our FP&A channel. Also, let me know in the comments below which other industry KPIs would you like me to cover in our future videos. Also, don't forget to check out a bunch of free resources including FP&A books, courses, and free resources. All the links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.